Welcome back, guys, to our channel. Our topic for today is about developing your critical thinking. Critical thinking, why is it important? What it is? How does it improve teachings and learning? Standards typically used in thinking. It's true because I believe it. That's innate egocentrism. It's true because we believe it. Innate sociocentrism. It's true because I want to believe it. Innate wish fulfillment. It's true because I have always believed it. That's innate self-validation. It's true because it is in my selfish interest to believe it. Innate selfishness. We have types of thinking: analyzing, evaluating, and reasoning. We have also new ideas, that is creative thinking. And this though goes to problem solving and decision making. Do you agree with this statement? Some people study all their life. At their death, they have learned everything except to think. So why is that critical thinking is so important? What is it? How does it improve your teaching and learning skills? What is critical thinking? Write your understanding of critical thinking. Critical thinking is a self-directed process by which we take deliberate steps on to think at the highest level of quality. Here's Robert Ennis' definition. Critical thinking is reasonable, reflective thinking that is focused on deciding what to believe or do. Matthew Lipman definition for critical thinking is skillful, responsible thinking that is conductive or conducive to good judgment because it is sensitive to context, relies on criteria, and is self-correcting. Richard Paul's definition. Critical thinking is thinking about your thinking, while you're thinking in order to make your thinking better. Paul's definition in 1992. Critical thinking is disciplined, self-directed thinking that exemplifies the perfection of thinking appropriate to a particular mode or domain of thought. The overall definition: critical thinking is skillful, responsible thinking that facilitates good judgment. So thinking that analyzes thinking, thinking that assesses thinking, thinking that develops within itself intellectual habits, thinking that combats its native egocentricity. Make that egocentricity. Critical thinking discipline, self-guided thinking aim at living a well-reasoned life. Critical thinking. How does it improve teaching and learning? Does questioning improve students' critical thinking skills? Let's find out. The critical thinking mind equals the educated mind. Strategies to promote critical thinking skills. Make a lesson plans that include thinking skills. Ask thought-provoking questions such as, how do you know? Why? Call on students to tell what they understand. Connect each lesson to students' experiences. Ask students to summarize the lessons creatively. Asking questions is the heart of critical thinking. Questioning to develop critical thinking requires students to raise issues, discover ideas and things, peruse problematic areas, seek clarity and relevance of ideas, and find evidence to make conclusions. For group activity suggestions, in group select a topic, any subject, and design a lesson emphasizing to develop critical thinking skills. Activity, a woman goes for haircut at a hair cutting salon. The hairdresser asks her what brand of shampoo she uses. He then puts some of her hairs under a microscope and shows her that there is a white film on the hairs. He recommends that she buy the store's brand of shampoo rather than one she has been using. What are some good questions to ask herself about this situation? Possible questions. Will be the same film there with all shampoos, even the stores? Is the film the result of the shampoo or something else entirely? Is there anything negative about having that film on my hair that can only be seen with a microscope? To what extent do we ask this type of questions of ourselves in similar contexts? How do you help students learn the skills needed to form clear, probing questions? Here's instructional strategies. What did we do today? State in your own words what someone else has said or written or the key concept, problem, or questions at issue. Elaborate on your statement. In other words, exemplify. Give example of the concept from your life and from the content. Illustrate. Create an analogy, metaphor, simile, or graph, chart, drawing, cartoon, etc. Critical thinking benefits of critical thinking skills. Why teach critical thinking skills? So here are the benefits of critical thinking. Examples: academic performance. Understand the arguments and beliefs of others, critically evaluating those arguments and beliefs. Develop and defend one's own well-supported arguments and beliefs. Workplace. Help us to reflect and get a deeper understanding of our own and others' decision. Encourage open-mindedness to change. Aid us in being more analytical in solving problems. Daily life. Help us to avoid making foolish personal decisions. Promotes and inform and concerned citizenry capable of making good decisions on important social, political, and economic issues. Aids in development of autonomous thinker capable of examining their assumptions, dogmas, and prejudices. Critical thinking. Here are the barriers to our critical thinking. The barriers. If critical thinking is so important, why is that uncritical thinking is so common? Why is that so many people, including many highly educated and intelligent people, find critical thinking so difficult? Still on barriers to critical thinking. Lack of relevant background information, poor reading skills, poor listening skills, bias, prejudice, superstition, egocentrism, sociocentrism, peer pressure, mindless conformism, mindless nonconformism, provincialism, narrow-mindedness, close-mindedness, distrust of a reason, stereotyping, unwarranted assumptions and stereotypes, relativistic thinking, scapegoating, rationalization, wishful thinking, short-term thinking, selective perception or attention, selective memory, overpowering emotion, self-deception, face-saving, fear of change. 5 powerful barriers for critical thinking. Egocentrism. This is self-centered thinking, self-interested thinking, self-serving bias. Sociocentrism. This is group-centered thinking, group bias, and conformism. Unwarranted assumption. Beliefs that are presumed to be true without adequate evidence or justification. Assumption and stereotyping. Wishful thinking. Believing that something is true because one wishes it. The truth is just matter of opinion. Relativistic thinking. Relativism, subjectivism, and cultural relativism. Answer for the arguments. Argument 1, invalid premise might be true, but there are other possible reasons explaining why things started missing in June. Argument 2, invalid premise might be true, but humans and mice aren't the same animals. Therefore, logically, the two premises aren't comparable. Argument number 3, valid. Premises are true and the conclusion allows for them. Argument 4, invalid. The structure is logical, but premise 1 is false. Not all teachers are female. Here are characteristics of a critical thinker. Are you open-minded about other people's view? Are you honest to yourself or others when you are wrong? Do you have courage and passion to take initiative and confront problems and meet challenges? Are you aware of your own biases and preconceptions? Do you welcome criticism from other people? Do you have independent opinions and are not afraid to disagree? Summary. What is thinking? Types of thinking. What is critical thinking? Benefits of critical thinking. Barriers to critical thinking. Characteristic of critical thinker. Thinking is a purposeful, organized cognitive process that we use to make sense of our world. Creative and critical thinking. Critical thinking is a general term given to a wide range of cognitive, intellectual skills needed to effectively identify, analyze, evaluate arguments, discover and overcome personal prejudices and biases, formulate and present convincing reasons in support of conclusions, and make reasonable, intelligent decisions about what to believe, what to do. Critical thinking skills emphasized in this course include reasoning, analyzing, evaluating, decision-making, and problem-solving. Academic performance, workplace, and daily life. Examples include egocentrism, sociocentrism, unwarranted assumption, wishful thinking and relativistic thinking. Open-mindedness, independent thinking, self-aware, passionate, insightful, honest, and intellectual humility. Intellectual courage and welcome criticism, etc. Okay guys, here are the questions for you to answer on a white bond paper. Take a picture of your answer sheet and then send it to our Google email. And the hard copy will be kept in the brown envelope to be collected. That will be collected after midterm exam. So question number 1. What are the 7 critical thinking skills? Number 2. What are the 5 critical thinking skills? Number 3. What is critical thinking in a presentation? Number 4. What are the 8 skills of a critical thinker? That's all for today, folks. I'll see you on our next topic. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, and videos for more updates.